just on the corner on a Wednesday, last day of the year. This will be the last video of 2024, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, that's what it is. Well, that's all right. I've got me a temporary gas tank up here just siphoning into the carburetor. And it sounds like it's missing on one cylinder.
Yeah?
You can hear it.
Woo, doggy.
And what I'm thinking,
Yes?
probably a valve or a weak valve spring or something. So I'm going to pull the valve cover off, adjust the valves on it,
Uh-huh.
just holding oil pressure.
Uh-huh.
The water quit leaking. I guess that leakage we had the other day was just me spilling.
Oh, okay, good.
And if Debbie will stand back right there, I'm going to drive it.
Oh, boy. He's going to try and run me over. Because I've been saying bad stuff about him. Come on, hold on to that. Maybe you get a shock. Oh, he's not heading towards me. I'm shocked. Oh my God, what's he doing? I think he was just making some ruts in my driveway. He made circle. That was a circle. Okay, now he's gonna back over me. What kind of shenanigans is that, you old geezer? Uh-oh, I hope we don't run over his flashlight.
I'm going to shut the gas off and let it run till it runs out of gas.
Oh, okay. Your flashlight's down there.
What?
Your flashlight's down there on the ground. You might need that.
What?
You might need that come dark.
Anyway, I'm going to let it run out of gas. What? PTO work?
PTO works. Ah! Yeah. Whoa, Nelly. Whoa, Nelly, yep. I don't know if you can see it
That's
spinning.
big pulley, that's PTO.
It's a spinning.
I think this right here is where umbrella stands. Sit for umbrella to
okay.
keep it cooking.
Okay, look at them dried up dirt daubers.
It's wrong seat. Somebody's got an 8-seater.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think his thing's going to run out of gas.
I just got my jumper cable on it.
I was going to say, I don't think it's going to run out of gas. Okay, mister, what were those wheelie
I got
dillies?
another story about a bee farmall.
Yeah, those wheelie dillies you did in my...
When I was a little kid, it was
Yes,
in 1964, so I was 13. You know,
God, that's back in the Stone Ages, ain't it? 18, no,
64.
no, back in...
My dad had a new...
64? Back before the beginning of time?
Chevrolet truck. He was going to the auction. This old boy, his name was Tillman, having an auction. His first name was Tillman.
Okay.
And he was probably about 40 years old. And they had a bee farmall there. And the reason I got to go to auction with my folks was because I liked auctions, and my dad would buy stuff and I'd carry it to the truck, and I didn't cry and say I want to go home. And, you know, I was willing to stay till the end of the sale. So me and my mom and dad, we went that 64 Chevrolet truck this auction. And that guy got on that bee, and he went out there and he was in fourth gear wide open, and he was doing figure eights. 900 mile an hour. No auctioneer, after he got done, he said, I don't know what that's good for, but he's darn good at it.
You didn't do figure
My
eight.
daddy didn't buy the bee, but I had a little money, and I bought this mother banny hen that had 4 little chickens with her, and she was in a cage he had there rigged up. put it in the back of the truck, along with all the other auction paraphernalia my dad had bought that day. We went up there to the IGA store.
Uh-huh.
Jake Foster's IGA, little old bitty store at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And when we stopped the truck, that mother hen and them baby chickens said, "Madge, get out of that coop." And of course, they jumped out of the back of the truck.
And
I
the race
chasing them
was
around.
on.
I was chasing them around, and I wasn't having real good luck at catching them. And this little girl,
Yes.
strawberry blonde, cute little girl.
Not me.
Not Debbie. But anyway, she helped me catch my chickens, you know.
Uh-huh.
I'd scare them out from under cars and stuff, and she was grabbing them, and she helped me catch my chickens, and I put them back in the car and all that and everything. You know, I was 13, and she was probably 11, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, her name was Jill, and I thank you, Jill, if you're watching this. I thank you for helping me catch my chickens all them years ago.
Uh-huh.
And I always liked her.
Where is that mama chicken now?
I don't know. I always liked her.
What, the chicken?
I never did get a chance to date her because she was...
The chicken?
No, Jill.
Really?
I'm talking about Jill. Anyway, I never did get a chance to date her because she was a real good-looking girl and everything, and she bloomed really pretty. And she was into older boys than me, you know, so, you know. And
It was
here
that baby face of urine.
Here about 2 years ago, she called me on the phone. She invited me to go to the class reunion. They was having a class reunion.
Uh-huh.
And she wanted me to, it wasn't my class, but she wanted me to come out there where the country club where they was having the reunion, you know, and see her and all this stuff and everything. And of course, Debbie knew I was talking to her on the phone. When we got done, now Debbie, she's really jealous. She said, "If that Jill wants you, she can have you."
I don't care if she has you. I mean, what is there left
There
of
she
you?
goes again. Anyway, I thought
Now
it was
listen
funny.
to her.
I'm here to tell you,
Yes,
she hadn't got a chance. She wouldn't hold you a candlelight to run by. She was a pretty girl, but you're a gorgeous one. So there. She ain't got nothing to say. I got her speechless.
Yeah, I can't answer that.
But anyway.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And you notice I said eye because you only got one.
Yeah, not the eye. So what I did was
I think he can't see me no more is why he says that. Yes?
I drug this 3-point hitch around here.
Uh-huh.
So I can drag that cherry picker engine horse down here and pick it up and put it on the back of that M.
See, I thought you were cleaning up, but you weren't.
And I couldn't drive
You made your tractor high roller.
I couldn't drive around there.
Uh-huh. And now you can drive
Because
around.
I had that H.
Wowza.
That we
Well,
pulled
it's
the clutch.
still kind of in the way.
In the way. Come on down here.
Look at it. Looks like it's falling in two.
Come here.
I'm coming. Ruff, ruff, ruff. I'll be your little doggy. Oh, look, I can find tools. There's a tool. Oh, there's a tool.
The what?
I'm finding tools.
Oh.
But I'm not bending over to pick them up. Look at that. He's got to go look for.
That's a little chisel.
Uh-huh, there's another tool, a
It
pair
must fell off that tractor.
of red-handled pliers right
I knew
over
that
there.
was
Oh, you did?
Well, I did. I hooked that bee to the front of this.
Look at it. It looks like it's key-lapsing on you.
No, it's just nothing holding the hood up. And I
Well,
pulled it up there.
okay.
And to make it go back,
Uh-huh.
I hooked my snatch block to it in a shorter cable, and I just pulled it back.
Now listen here,
But
ain't
what
I?
I'm gonna do,
Yeah,
the M's
okay.
in the way. I'm fixing to bring that M around
Okay.
here. And then I'm gonna hook on the air up that front tire again. It'll hold there for a little while.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna drag this H around back.
Okay.
To make it roll easier, folks,
Make it roll.
I tried a chain to them old collapsed tires.
Uh-huh.
I just tied a chain to them
And pulled them off.
and hooked it to my pickup and just pulled them off. Now it'll roll easier.
Wow.
See, because
See, now this is, just leave it like that, and you'll never have to fix a flat tire again.
yeah. But anyway.
And it won't ruin your rims any worse.
The seats right here.
Yeah.
What this seat is, that right there.
Oh, is that for hiding your chocolate?
No, that's a, yeah, it's just a toolbox. You can hide your chocolate.
Yes.
But it had some bolts in it, and cold shut, some other nut.
Well,
Didn't have anything.
Did you say nut?
No money or anything.
Did you say nut?
Yeah, you like that nut stuff. But anyway.
Well, that's because you step in it all the
You
time.
folks can see I got some tires that hold air on the back of that bee.
Okay.
And the reason people like them bees,
Why? Why do they like the bees?
well, they came out at the same time as these A's.
Uh-huh.
But these A's are narrow, and all the A's had a wide front end. And that bee, believe it or not, even though it's wide in the back, will cut sharper than this.
Wow.
And if they was raking hay or anything they was going to do, come up in a sharp corner, they could hit one brake and just cut them right around. But they was wide enough that they didn't flop over.
Yes. Flopping over is not fun.
Anyway, but that's the reason people like bees. That little boy of ours, Chris, when he started driving that bee of ours when he's 5 years old that winter, the next summer, I put him on the bee raking hay in the hayfield. And different people said, you're going to get that kid hurt letting him be on that tractor in that field. And I said, I'd rather he be on that tractor and I know where he's at than me tell him he couldn't come down to the hayfield, him sneaking around, me not see him in the tall weeds and grass. I said, he knows what he's doing on the tractor. Anyway, and he was good at raking hay. I only had to show him what I needed him to do, you know, one time, and then after that, he was good at it. You didn't have, you know. Oh, here's something fun.
Okay.
If I can find the rest of it.
What are we looking for?
A hammer.
A hammer?
Yeah, piece of a hammer that I had.
The wind is just sharp enough to go right through your clothes.
When I was changing them wheels, I had to beat on some of them bolts. And I'd bought some new hammers at the auction, and I didn't make but 3 taps, and the head broke right off that hammer.
And that's all that's left of your hammer?
No, well, the handle and other parts somewhere right here. I don't know. I may have got mad and thrown it.
Oh, yeah.
Tried to hit a passing car.
Oh, no, you can't do that.
No, I don't do that anymore.
No, when he was younger, he throwed his Donald Duck fits, but now Donald isn't so Donaldy.
Well, anyway, I gotta get some tires on the back of this H and a carburetor on that. And we'll put a temporary gas tank on it, you know, and we'll drive it around a little bit and decide what the fate of it's gonna be. It's not original paint, it's been repainted. They didn't do a good job and it didn't stick to it anyway.
Well,
So
that's okay.
I don't know.
That's okay, poor thing.
The jury's still out on it. It's got a nice light on the back.
Yeah, Ricky Walker will like you. He'll take you
Some of these lights,
cut you up and turn you
some of
into
these lights
mush.
got I don't know if this one does, but some of these lights got a switch you can turn, and at night it turns the light red.
Oh, wow.
Instead of it being clear.
Wow.
But this is a pretty good
I
lift,
mean,
and the reason I
bajinkers.
want it rather than the lift, I had a 3-point hitch on that M, and I took it off so I could mow hay with it. The reason I want this one, it's still got the swing and drawbar. And the other one, the drawbar is fixed where it won't turn, where it won't swing.
Yeah.
And I like that drawbar to swing over.
Yeah.
You know, different times.
Yes,
But see here, here's part of tractor tar. I just kept tying a little chain to it, pulling it with my pickup till it just all fell off.
Okay.
That's how rotten it was. That ate. But I kind of like the little bee.
I knew he was going to say that.
I hate to take the motor out and putting that A that I got around back.
Well, why are you going to take the motor out?
Because the casting number on this motor is the same as the casting number on the motor on that one that ain't
And
no
that's
good.
the only reason you're doing it.
Well, I need a motor for it.
So you're going to take this motor.
Well, I may put a different motor.
Why don't you
in
put
this.
a 327 in this?
Well, I know a guy's got a B. And he's taking the motor out of it. I don't know if it's any good or not, but he's taking the motor off. and he's got a little Isuzu diesel engine. He says he's gonna put in there. I don't know if he's ever got it done or not. He may have it done finished by now. He's real good at stuff. You know, if he decided to do anything, and he's got an M farmall. They use for a pulling tractor, and he's got 350 Chevy in it with headers and 4-barrel and all. And he says, well, I heard somebody told me he claimed he'd had it up to 50 mile an hour. Well, a stock M, the road speed on that sucker's 17 mile an hour. And that's plenty fast enough for me.
Yeah, I don't want to.
17 mile an hour is plenty fast enough.
I don't want to be going 50 miles an hour.
I sure don't want to be going 50 mile an hour on a tractor.
I think you got a real bad oil leak, don't you?
Yeah, it's got oil leak somewhere. Right here. I don't know if it's a filter or where they've screwed this in here, but it holds oil pressure.
But it's a.
I have to address that oil leak.
It's a leaking everywhere.
Yeah. Maybe the filter. A lot of times what people do, they'll get a filter and they won't dig that old
That's what I was going to say. I think
put a new oil
I
ring
think that's
in there.
where it's
Yeah, I think it is
Lincoln
too.
at. I was going to say Lincoln, but Lincoln.
I'm going to change the distributor too. That may be some of that mess.
Yeah. Boy,
A lot of
that
times
looks-
something that sounds like carburetor or something. Most carburetor problems turn out to be ignition. I found that out over the years.
Oh.
But if I keep it and leave it a be, I'm taking that off and putting the original kind of seat on there.
Oh.
I didn't rig me up any good any battery cables. I just used my old jumper cables, and these old jumper cables
They look like
they wouldn't make contact right here.
key wrap.
I know it. I've had these a long time, but they wasn't making good contact here. So I skinned them back here so I could put my battery and do that, and the copper wires on that battery now. See.
Yeah.
Just keep them working, you know, rather than buy new ones or buy new ends or something. They're still good cables. They're the long cables, but they're still good cables, you know.
Whatever you say, dear.
But I guess this seat was all right. I just don't like it, you know.
Why not? It's bouncy,
No, it's not the right seat.
and that
It makes it
disturbs
hard-
you.
It makes it hard for me to get over and get my foot on that clutch. The other one comes back and ain't got nothing sticking down in this area right here. This is the area where you set your feet, and this is in the way. See?
Oh.
You know, when you go to customizing stuff, you don't realize.
Well, put your foot on the other side.
But anyway,
Yeah.
that last video got 3,600 views and
And
gained us.
thank you.
And
Thank
gained
you all
us-
for watching.
Gained us close to 90 subscribers.
Thank you all for watching, and we
Yeah,
really
we
appreciate it.
appreciate that, you know, and we're just mainly just having fun with these old tractors and stuff. It's cheap fun.
Well, he's having fun. I get to gripe.
Yeah. Well, I paid $160 for the tractor.
Why?
Well, because that's what I paid for it.
Why?
But
You didn't need it.
that's battery.
Yeah.
This battery cost me $60
Uh-huh.
plus the taxes.
And that's supposed to impress me how?
No, but yeah, that's what I'm talking about, you know. And I took these tires off another old. What it was a BN.
What's
They
it-
made a B.
What's a BN?
They made a B that this side was like this. And it had tricycle front end.
Yes, I don't like tricycle front ends.
Well, it had tricycle front end.
I like wide front ends.
But this axle housing wasn't here. That tire is narrow.
See, you could put me a chair right there.
This tire and wheel fender was right here. It was a B. It was narrow like a A, but it had a narrow front end, and they called it a BN, and the end stood for narrow. It was narrow gauge on the back, and it
No.
had narrow front end.
I need you to make me a
That
low
was
rider.
different. That's the difference between a B. This is just a regular B.
Can you-
A BN
can-
had a narrow front end.
Can you make a low rider tractor?
Yeah,
You know, real low where I can just step on it and
yeah.
probably.
You could probably take these bolts out right here
Uh-huh.
and reclock that, where these would go back behind you, and then make it go down.
Yes, see, I need a low
And then you could
rider.
take and put a truck axle under the
Because
front.
all
That-
my friends
you could make it
drive
sit
a
off the
low
ground.
rider.
Oh yeah, well,
See, I wouldn't worry about falling off a lowrider. And if I did fall, the only thing I'd have to worry about is getting my legs out of the way.
My dad put a seat on his bee right there where my mom could ride. Tell him what happened.
Oh, he'd drive her through the brambles and the briars and the bushes and the places that the rabbits wouldn't go.
He tore up her pants legs, bruised her up.
Oh,
She's so mad at him.
Yeah.
He didn't put no guard.
Yeah, no place for her feet to sit.
He should have built him a box, platform and stuff, something to knock the bushes and stuff down. But he got old, his knees was bad, he couldn't walk good. And he'd park that bee tractor right by his back porch.
So he could just
come right. A lot of times he crawled out to that tractor.
Yeah.
On his hands and knees, and he'd get on, and then he'd drive around. And if I'd been there and closed the gate, and he never wanted to go through that gate, he'd just drive that tractor right through it, tear it all to pieces. Learn me to close the gate.
That's right. If a gate is open, you leave it open. If a gate is closed, you close it. How many times have you told me that? And you didn't follow your own rules.
Well, he may have had my mom close it the last time he come through there. But he'll say I left it closed. He may have had her close it and she wasn't with him, so he just drove through it and blamed me for it.
Yeah, I blame you for
everything. Tell him about the stump.
I blame you for everything.
Tell him about the stump.
Oh, he was...
He had this Ford truck. It was a 72. Half ton. And it got where it didn't want to idle good, and it was automatic, and he'd keep it from dying. He'd really idled it up. And you didn't have to give it any gas. You just put it in gear, and it'd run down through there about 25 miles an hour. Now tell him what happened.
He was going to the back 40 on his kind of sort of road, and he was going along there, and all of a sudden he come to a dead stop. And he had hit a stump that was hidden in the tall weeds and grass, and he had busted his face open, his nose, his blood and everywhere.
Yeah, he bent the steering wheel with his face.
Yes, and did he come walking up to the house, chewing Randy's buttocks off? And
for me leaving that stump up there high.
And Randy told him, he said, Dad, you're the one that leaves the stumps high. I leave them high, and then I cut them off before I leave and take the firewood with me.
Yeah.
And then Grandpa's
Even my mom said, yeah, he went up there. He got that tree because it's easy to get. He didn't dulled his saw, cut it in the dirt, cutting wood up further up. He dulled his saw so bad, he said, I'll come back and cut that stump off later on.
Well, he tried to get it with his truck. He didn't quite.
He pretty much totaled over for that.
I know.
It bent the whole front cross member underneath it.
Yeah, and bent his face up pretty good, too.
Yeah, bent the steering wheel. Bent the steering wheel.
But I bet that was a sudden stop.
It had a 360 and a C6 in it.
Yep.
And it was a 72. It was kind of a orangey, yellowy orange with a white top, long bed.
Don't matter what it was. Now it's gone.
Well, the day he bought it was the day our son Chris was born.
Yep.
Because he bought it at the corner auto sales in Paragould, Arkansas.
And I was in labor.
And me and Debbie drove to Paragould in a little 66 Ford Galaxy we had. And we took them down there to buy that truck.
Yep.
And they bought that truck, and we come home, and
I had him that night.
She had Chris
About what?
That morning.
Yeah, in the morning, about 3.
Midnight or so.
I forget what time I had him.
But
Isn't that
that's
terrible?
the day he bought that truck.
Yep.
We bought it from Corner Auto Sales in Paragould, Arkansas. That place ain't even there no more, and I don't even know which corner it is. That Paragould is grown. It's got a main street. I'd say 6 miles long at least. And countless stoplights.
Yes.
There's a stoplight every just a little bit.
I thought they had like 4 or 5 main streets.
No, they call it King's Highway. King's Highway, they call that. It's Highway 412. It's a truck route. You know, it's a mess to go that way because there's semi trucks and that's the worst. It's as bad as Jonesboro. Traffic's bad enough around here. Oh, and the other day, I was going to town to pay the light bill. Went to town to pay the light bill, and Right up here, on this big hill up here we call Cooley Hill, there was a semi-truck turned over in the ditch.
Oh,
He got off on the shoulder and...
Yeah, the shoulder is...
Yeah, well, it'd been raining a whole lot.
Oh, God, it's
But
rained
this
for 2
road's
weeks.
too narrow.
Yeah, the road's too narrow. There
And
is
all
no...
the time I'll be driving down through here, and Debbie will too, and we'll meet somebody and they want their side road and ours too. We'll have to drive off the edge of the road.
Edge of the road, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Not only just semi-trucks, it'd be somebody, a pickup truck or ton truck or
Because
something.
they're just going too fast.
But they're going to have to put some shoulder on that road.
Yes.
They're going to extend this road out about 8 foot wider, about 4 foot more on each side.
Yes.
Them lanes is only 10 foot wide, and most semi-trucks is 8 foot. You're allowed 8'6", you know. I don't know.
Okie dokie.
But anyway, I didn't get Debbie to go up there, but we can do a video and laugh at him for being in the ditch.
I am not going to laugh at a truck driver.
That was a freight truck, and
I love truck
they had to
drivers.
bring another freight truck up there and unload that sucker by hand and put all the freight that's in it in this other truck before they could ever turn it
Did you
back
know
up.
that Peter built a truck for a man to drive?
Yeah. I drove with Peterbilt, the last truck I drove. But
I like
just to tell you the truth,
semi trucks.
I always liked a conventional cab Freightliner better than I did a Peterbilt. I just always liked a Freightliner better.
Which one did I drive?
You drove a cab over a Freightliner.
Okay.
She drove a cab over a Freightliner and had a 300 Cummins and a 9-speed in it. Had to crawl up in that old cab over truck.
Yes.
But she's taller than everybody else.
I know.
She's bigger than everybody else.
Yes, that's what I
But
told Randall.
You was right there. If you had a wreck, you was the first one to the crash scene.
But I told Randall, I said, I ain't worried about having a wreck. And I said, I'm bigger than
You
everybody.
sit right on top of that front tire. Your seat was,
See,
the
I
front
don't-
tire was underneath your seat.
I didn't like that
Underneath
part.
the seat.
I thought we drove to Long Nose one a time or two, too.
One time, I wasn't driving that Freightliner. I was driving a GMC dump truck. It was supposed to go to Murfreesboro, Illinois. And I took off, and it was foggy. And I didn't much like that fog, so instead of going
I don't like fog.
through Pocahontas and up 67, up through Corning and Poplar Bluff, I went up this way because it wasn't foggy in the hills like it is in the bottom. It's just foggy on this river bottom.
Yeah.
And I went up through Donovan and went up there. I got up there in Murfreesboro. And they said, well, where's Ralph? And old Ralph Schrader was driving that Freightliner. I don't know, had a couple backhoes on the low boy. And he went the bottom ground way. And when he got down to Current River, the truck in front of him, right in front of him, he was following. He was probably 150 foot behind him. And he was talking to this guy on the radio, and they're talking about the fog being so bad. And this guy was driving a cab over truck too. And another truck met him in that fog and crossed the center line. Right there at Current River Bridge. And it took him out of the cab of that truck
Wow.
and rolled him up into the sheet metal on that reefer trailer
Wow.
and killed him right then and there. And Ralph was right behind him. He was right behind him. And of course, traffic backed up behind him and it was foggy and this and that and the other. And I asked him, I said, Ralph, what'd you do when that happened? He said, I shut that truck down, put on the four-way flashers, and he said, I got out of it, and he said, I went way over there on the other side of Current River Beach, went over there and stood behind a tree.
Oh, wow.
He said, because I didn't know what was going to come through that fog and smack into that. It might be a dang gas tanker or something. He said, you know,
Yeah.
I'd heard of them. He said, I scared to death.
Wow.
And old Ralph, after that, he was always going on to me because I'd go, wow, you got to cross that old narrow bridge up there at Donovan, blah, 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 take all them pig trails. I said, but that's the way I like to go. And he went to going that way.
I don't blame him.
Anyway, I guess that's it. We got a couple, 3, 4 stories in, and you got to see a Little tractor that if I hadn't bought it, it'd probably never run again. Well, most people wouldn't have bothered with it.
I wouldn't have bothered with it.
Well, look, I can just do that.
But you could get me
I can teach the
a 60 Pontiac.
I can teach the grandchildren to
You
do
could
that.
get me a 60 Pontiac Catalina.
Yeah, well, if I run across one, I will try my best.
You're not trying very hard. You've got, I bet if I look in your eyes real good, your pupils are little tractors. Aha, I think they are.
Okay. Anyway, I just noticed something.
What you just noticed?
Rather than have screws in there, you gave a piece of wire through there,
That,
twisted up.
it works, don't it? You always told me poor people have poor ways.
Well,
He's about the
Pieces-
poorest.
I got the same place where that guy bolted that piece of steel on that farmall.
See? Poor people
Well,
got
I'll
poor.
say goodbye and good luck to you. And
Happy
the
New
wind
Year!
has laid a little bit. It's not even as cold as it was. And me and Debbie's been trying to do laundry. She's been doing it, and I've been hanging on the line where her poor little hands wouldn't get cold. And
I hung out one load while you were playing with this sucker.
Oh, okay. But anyway, I guess that's it for this video.
Yes, Happy New Year, everybody, and
Yep.
thank you for watching.
The next video will be 2025.
Yes, we'll see you next year. We
See you
love you
next year,
guys.
If we live the night, we'll see you next year.
I plan on living the night, but I don't know about him. But anyway, please like and subscribe and comment below and share with your friends, your loved ones, your neighbors, people you like, people you don't like. Just share, and thank you for helping us and liking us and subscribing to us. We love y'all. Happy New Year. Bye.